Broadcasting.
We're live.
We are live. What is happening? Actually, going to give it a second or two, but this is episode 169. We'll let all the folks here kind of trickle in that are watching. Tonight, we got a special guest, Joey. We got Tyler Cahoon, and he is a host of a show, another podcast called Type 2 Fun. I was looking through some of the content that he has, and it's pretty cool. It's like a wide range of guests, like interesting topics. And the cool thing is the theme is like motivation, mindset, how'd you get started, community. So I'm looking forward to getting Tyler on and see.
Yeah. I'm looking through it right now, and I found some stuff I like already.
Yeah, exactly. So it's gonna be fun to talk to a fellow podcaster, and we're happy to bring him to you as well. If you've never heard of it, it's called Type 2 Fun Podcast. You guys got to check it out and subscribe to him on YouTube. Joey's pulling up this right. Oh, of course you would find the jet ski.
Yeah, I found a jet ski already.
Yes.
I'm gonna backflip one this summer. You watch.
I believe it. I believe it already. Joey, what's going on with you? I heard that you had a trip around the sun this week, huh?
I did take another lap around the sun.
Yeah. Happy birthday, bro.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
What did you get up to anything good on your birthday?
Yeah, obviously went for a bike ride and took care of a tree that took care of me the other day. So yeah.
For the folks that are listening, I got this text message when I was at work, and it shows this helmet that's like fully dented in, and you're like, just rang my bell on a tree branch. Was it a tree branch that had like kind of broken and was hanging over the trail? What happened?
Tree branch that should have been removed, and someone removed it. It's gone now.
I wonder who that is. It wouldn't be the person who bonked their head on it, would it be?
Yeah, I went from a 6D helmet to a 6 done helmet.
We're gonna have to get you into a new Cali helmet. So what's gonna have to happen?
Nice.
Gonna say what's up to the chat too, Joey. We got Trail Pimp up in the house. He says, "Let's party." Trail Pimp, is it snowing where you are? Because I think he's in the Lake Tahoe area. I wonder if he's got some snow out there.
I don't know, but I like this comment right here because I will leave the trees to you, Kim. No problem.
MTV Sheen Queen is in the house out of Michigan. What is happening? Always good to see you on there. And yes, she is the queen of Sheen and the queen of the trees. She's here at 6 p.m. with a caca. Look at that. I think I know what that means though. Is there? Oh yeah, I'm not gonna steal your thunder, Joey. Yeah, we got Tyler Cahoon, who's like in the green room backstage. He's actually saying episode 169 is solid. Slow clap. Slow clap. Golf clap. Oh man, riding dirty out of Arizona.
Yeah, riding dirty. He's having fun on the new RN. I'm so jealous. You and him both. Yeah.
He is, man. I think he's like reviving the whole like beef between analog bike and e-bike. Have you seen his posts lately?
Yeah, they're good.
It's so funny. It's so funny. There it is. Leave that tree to me. Trail Pimp's giving both of you all fist bumps. He's saying light snow, just light snow.
Light snow.
Yeah, light snow. Actually, we should ask.
You're missing out on some exciting news that happened this weekend too. Like Friday, there was something pretty good that happened.
Yes. Oh my gosh. There was a disco theme. You talking about the white tea party?
Yeah, that was so good.
Holy cow. I had no idea what we were getting into. And Joey Yates and Steve Caballero and Solomon Agad, like two legends in the skateboard world, by the way, dressed up to the nines disco theme. Holy cow. Do I have a picture that I could bring up for you guys that are here?
There's one on your Instagram.
Is there one on my Instagram? If Joey, could you bring that up? It is.
I'll find it.
It is amazing. That was such a fun party. But before that, we rode the San Clemente Dog Park trails, the YT trails, and
we rode that until it was dark too.
Yeah, we did.
Dark.
Thank goodness it got dark because I saw the boys eyeing up that giant road gap. And if we had a little bit of sunlight left,
that
would have been next up on the plate.
That would have happened, yes.
That would have happened. So my goodness, when you get those elite athletes out there like that, they just they see something and then they go for it. And next thing
Right.
you know, you're doing it. You're like, dude, I can't believe we did that. Here we go. We got Mitten Power in the house, Michigan in the house, MTB Sheen Queen also with Tyler out there, Michigan represent. Yes, definitely. By the way, I should ask you guys this question. Is it snowing where you are? I wonder. Let's see. Oh, is this the picture? Yes, look at
Yeah,
that.
that's you showing up to the club, and that was a Rolls Royce you showed up in, wasn't it?
Yeah, I had to put the umbrella away. You know how the umbrella goes on the little suicide door right there?
Right.
I had to put that away. Album cover. There's Steve Caballero in the flesh.
Legendary. Yeah. Yeah.
There's the VIP party. You and the missus, Cab and Karina.
Yeah.
Oh,
Gosh, that was a good night right there.
it
Look
was.
at there you go.
Oh, there I am trying to get my groove on. I was solo. I was just missing the Sheen Queen on that night. But
Yeah, we all were.
I know, such a good time, so fun. But yeah, that's like a good. It was like talk about mindset. Like we were getting photographed by a guy by the name of Sky out of Australia. If you
Oh,
look at his stuff, it's transition photography. The
so good.
dude is amazing. Did you see Joey on his handle? He was the he is, sorry, not was, he is the producer of Monster Army.
That's what you were
Like,
telling me. Yeah. That was yeah. Dude, the
that's
guy was
insane.
and it felt like we knew him like right away. It wasn't like the guy was just part of the crew instantly. It was awesome.
Yes. Yes.
I was just wondering
Totally.
the whole time if it's difficult to talk with an Australian accent the whole time or if that just feels normal.
We were all trying. Our bros turned into mates, right?
Right?
Oh man. Well, I know it's late on the East Coast or on the Eastern time where Tyler is. Let's have Tyler join the party on this episode 169. Ladies and gentlemen, the host of Type 2 Fun Podcast, Mr. Tyler Cahoon.
What's up, y'all? How's it going?
Tyler, what's up, buddy?
Not much. I'm already excited. I feel like the energy is high and I'm loving this live chat. I've not done many live chats, so I'm already getting a kick out of the back and forth going on here and the images you guys are throwing up.
Nice.
That's awesome. No, welcome aboard, man. I'm stoked to talk to you about like your podcast, some of the guests, just a bunch of things. But to start off, when I was like, yo, Tyler, can you send me a picture for the thumbnail for this show? You sent me this like super cool logo of your podcast, but then you sent me this really cool achievement of a marathon. Talk about mindset. How? What is that? 26.2 miles on foot?
Yeah, so I've always been a runner. I mean, I ran track and cross country in high school, and that's kind of always been my getaway. And it's always been a bucket list goal of mine to do a marathon. So I have 2 kids now under 4. Every year I say to my wife, is this going to be the year I run it? And she's like, I'm sick and tired of you talking about it. We'll make time. Just sign up for one and we'll make it happen. And I mean, that was kind of an inspiration to start this because I don't know. I just love the as you see in the logo, it says like push your limits. So I love the people that are going out there doing these crazy things. I went to school at Michigan Tech, if anyone knows anything about that, but that's a very adventurous school. We didn't have a lot of girls there. So instead of going out and trying to get laid all the time, we were out partying or camping in the winter. I had a snowmobile up there. And yeah, I'm going on a little bit of tangent, but always loved just doing this type of stuff. And starting the podcast was kind of just me creating a platform to find people to talk to about the cool stuff that they're doing. And yeah, I'm hoping to get into that with you guys and kind of talk about what you guys are doing to push your limits and what type 2 fun you guys are finding on the mountain bike.
Yeah. No, that's a great question. And I actually looking at the chat also. MTV Sheen Queen says went to Lake State, almost went to Tech. There you go.
Pretty much a sister college, but it's still like 5 hours away, 6 hours away.
Dude, it's amazing. Like Michigan, definitely want to address the question about the type 2 fun, but North Michigan is amazing. It's so pretty up there. Holy crap. We took a road trip to Petoskey,
Yep.
and I was like, this is my town. I love this town.
Yeah, Michigan's like underrated. I feel like when people look at adventure, they look directly to the mountains, and that's the only thing we lack. We don't have many mountains. We do have, a lot of ski hills, but they're nothing incredible. No one's going to really travel to Michigan to go skiing. That being said, we have Mount Bohemia, which is just a total hidden gem, and it's cheap as hell. But we have lakes, we have rivers, we have snow, we have hunting. Like there's all this stuff that you can do, hiking. We'll get into the mountain biking stuff. There's mountain bike trails everywhere. So Michigan is, I've fallen in love with it over time. But I do always treasure going out to the mountains and seeing that stuff because that's something that we lack out here.
If you guys had a big mountain there, I think that would just be it. You'd have the lakes, you'd have the beauty, you'd have the space. Obviously, you guys got the water. If the mountain was there, it'd be like, everything be 4 or 5 times expensive, probably.
I will pitch Mount Bohemia because we're going in February. I try to go every year, and I don't even know how to explain it. It's not the same altitude as out west,
Okay.
but it's just as good. And I think a big part of it is that it's all ungroomed, so you get that dynamic of it. The longs are still plenty long. You can go and get lost in the woods, just have your own adventure. Half of the trails, if you call them trails because it's ungroomed, they're like Lord of the Ring names. So you just go and get lost out there. And
Wow.
I'm a snowboarder, which is a pain in the ass because the moment you fall, you're kind of hiking that thing around. But it is gorgeous. And like another big draw is you go out west, you have to fly there. Well, you'd probably have to fly to us, but you had to pay for the flight, and then you pay for your lift pass, and then all this stuff. Well, you go to Mount Bohemia, and it's like dirt cheap for a ski pass. The resort, quote unquote resort, is tiny, but they're like building it out to be this whole spa deal. So you go ride all day, you go in these little yurts and get lunch. You have a bar right there. It's like very intimate, and then you can go hop in the sauna, hot tub, whatever, and just kind of chill out with everybody before heading back to town. And then there's people that set up campers or tents in the parking lot and just stay there in the winter, and I just think that's so cool. It's a very unique place.
Where is that located? MTV She Queen saying, is this Mackinac Island?
It's not, no, it's not Mackinac Island. Mackinac
Just
Island's
another
gorgeous
beautiful
too.
place. I said Mackinac.
very
Mackinac.
beautiful.
Oh my gosh. It's not a local.
I think it used to be called Mackinac. I could be wrong there. It's well, I'll do the hand analogy. I don't know if this is coming across right on camera, but you have to cross the Mackinac Bridge, and then you go up to the Keweenaw. It's like almost at the tippy top of the sky. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Oh, got it. Okay. So that's closer. That's like part of the UP, or not quite?
Yeah.
That?
Yep.
It is part of the UP. God.
And you're a huge mountain biker, so
yes.
I don't know the trail system up there, the Copper Harbor trail system. There's like phenomenal mountain biking up there. I've never done it, but every time I go up there in the summer, you just see people either shuttling or riding their bike up the giant hill on the paved roads, and then they shoot this thing down and they repeat.
Dude, I've seen video coming out of there, and I'm like, where is that? Is like the PNW, and then I find out it's like the UP. I'm like, what? And it's like, Joey, there are these like drops there that are enormous, built out in the woods, and it looks like the PNW to me. Like it's in the trees, it's beautiful, and yeah, I had no idea. I did go to a place this summer. It's called Boyne Highlands Bike Park.
Mm-hmm.
That place was pretty dope. I was really excited about that spot, and actually made a couple videos on that. I have one video in the hopper right now that needs to come out. But it's hard because like they're all changing towards snowboarding right now. So I'm not sure if they really want that released right now or not. But damn, that place has so much stuff, so much fun. Joey, you gotta go. You're gonna be like,
sounds awesome.
Right? Like I had no idea this was all here. What the heck? Yes. Okay.
I haven't done Boyne or anything. I went and did like thing's called Zootomac. It's just like a 51-mile road race, not a race, road ride, and that's super pretty. And it starts at either Boyne or Boyne Highlands. There's two sister hills right next to each other, and that's super pretty because you get to end it pretty much Mackinac Island, as mountain bike Sheen Queen's talking about. But yeah, it's pretty.
Yeah. There's so much stuff there that's like you said earlier, it's kind of just unknown, underrepresented for some reason. I mean, this picture right here of Bohemia that you're talking about, look at this. This thing is insane. That looks like elevation to me. That does not look flat. What the
Right.
hell? What the hell? And how many runs are there? Like, let me go back to
You kind of got a map right there, that second photo.
this
At
one right
least
here,
that's a
right?
side of the map, right? Middle Earth, right? You see all the 12 Dwarfs, Gandalf, the Shire. If you're a big Lord of the Rings fan, that's where all the fun is.
Okay, that's huge. That is huge. Look at all the runs there are. You could spend
Jeez.
all day there.
Couple
Trail
days.
Pip is saying night skiing too.
So they, down the runs where the main lift is, they have a couple like light poles. So you can't do a lot at night, but pretty much that first photo you look at, you can do those like 3 or 4 runs.
Oh damn. Okay, yeah, a little bit closer where the lights are. Here's one. Are these? This image isn't the greatest, but how many runs is that? Good lord, that's enormous. For the folks that are listening in on iTunes and Spotify, we are looking at a picture of Bohemia Mountain, and it looks like it's got at least like 20 runs right here on this like base of this hill. Insane. Damn. So type 2 fun, Tyler. When we're talking about type 2 fun, for the folks and me too, like it's a new term to me. Like, what is type 2 fun? Can you let the folks know like what that means?
Yeah, if you don't know what Type 2 fun is, Type 1 fun is I went to the amusement park, I went to Cedar Point, I went to the fair. It's a blast. I went to the bar. It's a good time, like, but that's it. You come home, and when anybody asks you about it, hey Mark, how was your trip to Cedar Point? Oh man, it was great. I love the dragster. That's like the end of the story. There's nothing crazy that happened there. My kid threw up. But you talk about type 2 fun, and these are the stories that are podcast worthy, where we can get on here and talk at an hour's length and go back and forth about the hardship and the, almost thinking about quitting, the mountain you scaled, the weekend you went mountain biking, your chain broke and you had to haul this thing back, or, whatever. It's those things that really you get to kind of like grit through, push yourself through it. And the phrase is like, they suck in the moment, but in retrospect, they're the stories that, or the things that you look back on. Like, why the hell would I run a marathon? Why would you do that? But you finish it and you're just like, man, that was cool. All the training that went into that, I did that. That's like a monumental feat. And it's, I'm going to do another, at least one next summer. And yeah, that's the whole thing of type 2 fun. People say there's a type 3 fun, and the joke with type 3 fun is that it sucks during and it sucks after. Like, you never ever ever want to do that again. So yeah.
I had type 3 fun when I rode one of the trails in Michigan. It was this big loop. I think it was like 22 miles. And I think we even did a shorter bypass. I mean, it was like 20 miles. It's called Potawatomi Trail. Am I saying that right?
I think so.
I pretty much bonked at mile 14. I was like, dude, how many more miles do we have left? Like, I was looking for the downhill, and it kept going like down and up and down and up. And I was like, yeah. So maybe that was like a type 2, type 3, but I will go back again because it definitely was
It's type 2 fun.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like
So-
the premise of it, and we just try to have people on that are doing challenging things and diving into them. And I don't have a specific niche. It could be anything. I've had canoe marathoners, I've had ultra runners, mountain bikers. He showed a photo earlier of like a guy that does free ride jet ski on Lake Michigan.
Yes.
So we've hunters on, so we've had a long range of people. Had people that have done like the Iditarod dog sled race. So you can kind of see the range of people that we're talking to and how those stories can kind of go. And you just get a chance to kind of learn about the things that are out there.
This is interesting. I love this because I'm curious. There are some people like type 2 fun salesmen in me would have a hard time selling mountain biking. Hey, do you want to come with me? Like way off the grid. We're going to pedal up a hill. I think you might throw up. You possibly could have a heart attack. Help is going to be kind of around, sort of, if we have cell reception. We're going to spend a ton of time burning a ton of calories going uphill. You're going to hate it. It's awesome, though. And then we get to the top. You're going to see this beautiful view. And then we're going to downhill for like 4 minutes. You want to come? They're going to be like, hell no. Bye. But there's something about it when you do it. There's something that's so, I don't know. It's like, it's so ingrained in your soul from probably like many, many years of evolution from when we were like hunters and gatherers. You're like tackling something, you're challenging yourself, you're outside, you're in the elements, and you achieve this glory when you get to the top, even if you're on an e-bike. And the downhill is like survival, and it's somewhat meditative because you really can't think of anything else, because if you do, you're going to die or crash.
Yeah.
So you have to be like completely present, like 100% present. You're making decisions in the moment, split second. So you are completely here. You're on Earth. You're experiencing this. There's nothing else going on. And then you get to the bottom, you're like, God damn, that was amazing. That was so fun. Nothing else seems to replace that. Like in today's society, driving your car, being at work, being on the phones and the screens, like nothing comes close to that feeling. And I'm just curious, Tyler, for you, for all the people that you have interviewed, like, is there a common denominator for all these type 2 fun addicts? Is there something that you've identified that you're like, dude, I get it. That's why you do this?
Yeah, and because it's such a wide range of topics, I have to figure out the commonality, and it's a few things. It's community, finding the psychopaths that want to do that event with you or do that sport with you, and it's exactly what you said. It's the people that want to get out there, challenge themselves, find out what the limit is or the breaking point of themselves, and going beyond that. So yeah, I mean, it's exactly that, and the other cool part, as you said, this hill, you go to the top and you see this beautiful view. You're seeing the world in ways that people don't get to experience it. And
yes.
All these people typically have, a much greater or different appreciation of the world because they're seeing it through their sport, and they're just getting to see cool things that other people aren't. And they get to appreciate it because they're in the middle of, hell, doing whatever workout or whatever sport that they're doing. So yeah, that's kind of the commonality in the people that we're having on.
That's really cool. That's really cool. Joey, can you see that commonality? Like, you're a mountain biker, but you also do what one of Tyler's guests does. You're also in the jet ski world. You're also in the snowboard world. But on the jet ski world, I see something in you that I see on the mountain bike. When you see people doing crazy flips and boosting the jet ski and like going underwater with it, I look over at you and you kind of have that Steve Caballero look when there's something big and challenging. I'm like, uh-oh, he's gone.
Yeah, the jet ski is something. I mean, when we're talking jet ski too, there's sit down and stand up. I ride stand up a little bit different than the sit downs, but I've been doing it since I was 10. So there's really no fear in it at all. It's just ride it as hard as I possibly can. But there are things that I haven't done. I'm not great in the surf. The surf is kind of taken over. There's different boats you ride there. Skis, boats, they're the same thing. But like backflipping it, there's a whole different ski for that. You can't just backflip it. Well, you can, but technically you have to have a certain ski for backflipping. And so there's still things that I would like to do that do scare me on there, but I still would like to. Like I said, I'm hoping this summer there's a guy named Mark Gomez. He's probably one of the best freestyle jet ski guys out there, and he'll train you how to do a backflip out at Lake Havasu. So That might be something I might try.
Yeah.
I love that
Yeah.
you're bringing that up, because another part of this is I have this platform and I get to learn about all these different things. I didn't even know that was a thing in my own state until recently, and it's because I had somebody on who does that on Lake Michigan.
Right.
And it was because they moved downstate. They didn't have the snow that they used to have in the Upper Peninsula to go snowmobiling and snowboarding. And he was a engine head, so he found out about this community around him that does free ride jet skiing. And even in the winter, they go out there and they're in their full wetsuit, dry suit, whatever the one that keeps you warm, and they just like have their little powwow where they ride out there and they're doing backflips and spins and all this stuff that, again, didn't even know it existed.
Right. Mark, do you ever have trouble turning it off though? Like after you're done mountain biking, that was just a weird one, but you hop in your car and then you start seeing the road different. You know what I mean? Like you want to hit a bank in your car and you're like, no, I'm in my car. I can't do that. Like
100%. Actually, I think it never turns off. Like, I see landscape completely different. Everything I see now is like rideable or not rideable, or fun or not fun. It's kind of like, where were we when we saw that building? We were somewhere, Tyler, and Joey and I looked at this building at the same time, and the roof came down almost to the point where you could ride your bike off of it.
I think that was Petco Park.
Was that Petco Park?
Was it Petco Park? Because we were looking at all kinds of lines at Petco Park.
Yes, it was Petco Park. It was at the Padres baseball stadium. We were like, dude, you could totally free ride this place. So it's totally engraved in there. I also used to be a skateboarder growing up, so I see landscape completely different. Like if I see an Embarcadero or staircases and handrails, I'm just like, oh, look at that stair set. That is totally doable. Where other people are like, I gotta walk down these stairs. I'm looking at them like they're a feature.
Right.
Like the mindset's like totally different.
Is there anything that Trail Pimp doesn't know?
Trail Pimp says Mark Gomez is a 5-time world champion. Damn.
That's jet ski right there. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. I see Alpha MTB is on. What's up? He says Mark's definitely talking about Vail. Yeah, that's a grind. Getting to the top of Vail. It's one of our trail systems out here, Tyler. It's this fire road that has a name called Ambulance, which already you're starting your ride on Ambulance, which you're like, okay.
Yeah, I don't know what's better, Vail starting your ride at Ambulance or Greer starting your ride at the hospital. But like not the trail name, the hospital, the actual hospital.
It's true. We park at the hospital, Tyler, at a place called Greer Ranch, and we ride from the hospital to the trail. So both of those rides start with, I hope I don't see you. I hope I don't need you today. MTV Sheen Queen saying, dude, Joey, I literally said that to myself. What doesn't he know? I know, right?
She's talking about Trail Pimp. Yeah.
Yeah.
I told you, he's just a walking encyclopedia of knowledge. I love him.
He is an encyclopedia. Trail Pimp, this will be great because I know Trail Pimp likes this type of stuff too. Trail Pimp, have you subscribed to Tyler's Type 2 Fun podcast show on YouTube? Because they'll like open up your world to different guests. I mean, you've had hunters, jet skiers. What would you say on all of your guests? I think you were saying earlier you're on episode, was it 58?
This will be 58 if we cross post this, yeah.
58. So out of all these, minus this one, which one has really stood out to you? Because either you were interested in it or didn't know anything about it and learned a ton about it.
Oh man, that's loaded. The early ones are pretty cringe. It's just like me not knowing how to interview anyone. So the stories are they're hard. I think the Iditarod one, that's definitely an old one, but that one was so cool because like I just got these sisters on that did the Iditarod like 26 times cumulatively, and that was epic.
What?
I don't know. I'm looking through my episodes. I just did one recently with a hunter, and that got kind of heady, talking about family and stuff. And as somebody with 2 young kids, that was really cool, just kind of hearing how he still maintains this lifestyle with his kids. And how it's influencing his kids. I mean, my wife, she wakes up in the morning and works out, and like my kids just, they see it and, oh, mom's working out again. Let me go grab my toy weights and start lifting. So it's like really cool the impact that your lifestyle has on the people around you. And so that was a really cool one. Anytime I get somebody that's in the States, really cool. I just did one recently that was the Asabo River Canoe Marathon. Again, didn't know there was canoe marathons here, but
I didn't
that's
know that
something
either.
I could drive up north and go do if I wanted to one day. And that was so unique that I learned a ton.
Okay, so they even have world championships I see right here. And if anyone's listening on iTunes or Spotify and you're a canoe marathoner, you're probably like, well, hello, of course we have it. But how many miles is it that they go? Is it like running? Are they 26?
You talk about the Iditarod?
No, sorry, the canoe marathon.
Oh, man. I think the one that I interviewed was 120. So they're ultra events, you know, but they have them around the world. And I think they have some that are over 200. But I could be mistaken that, right? I'm trying to just go from memory.
What? Wow. Checking your count right now on YouTube. You're at congratulations. You have hit 100 subs, my bro.
I'm so excited.
That's awesome.
This is great.
That is awesome. You were going to say, sorry.
I'm flipping through my episodes and you're asking me to highlight ones that I really liked. There was a dude that lives in Colorado that's doing snow skating. And when I think of snow skating, I just think of, you know, a flat deck similar to your skateboard deck in the back with just like a rubber grip that you go down little hills on.
Yeah.
Well, he's taken it and he's made like a double decker, which is also common in the snow skate scene. But the way he's designed and engineered this board, he's essentially longboarding down hills, and he has the longboard gloves and everything so that he can actually carve and whatnot. And just seeing photos of him riding out there it's ridiculous. And I'm like an engineer by background, so getting into that episode with him, how he designed that thing to account for the right weight distribution and flex and everything, that was a really fun one to talk about.
Yeah, like this is something new, right? Like it makes sense to do the double decker because you have snow and you have the collection of snow on your deck. But yeah, there it is. Joey's got it right there.
Yep.
Wow. Bell Harrison is pushing the limits of snow skating scene and making waves with his unique riding style and custom snow skate. What?
That looks fun.
How? That's crazy. Damn.
He's moving.
That is cool.
His goal is to break 100 miles per hour doing that.
Wow. And there's no bindings. He's just literally on a skateboard on top of a ski.
He's not strapped in at all.
No.
Dude. Well, he's going to hit 100 miles an hour because he's probably got pretty big, heavy balls. Down the hill. Holy cow. Now, when you interviewed this guy, was he also a skateboarder like off season, or is this just his thing, winter?
He longboards, so I don't know if you consider that skateboarding or not, but downhill longboarding. Yeah. So in the dry months, he goes into the mountains and same thing, but on the pavement.
Jeez,
that's right here.
There he is. Holy crap! Those guys are crazy when you see them come down the hills, like Palomar Mountain when they're coming down that. Insane! Look at him just power sliding like that. Holy crap!
So clean.
Damn.
I love how he took the two sports and put them together. Like that's so cool.
Yeah.
Like I want to do this all year.
Oh, look at that! He's got one of the boards you can take out on the trails. You see that one right there on to the left of the moto? Yeah.
This one? Yeah.
Yeah. That is dope.
Yeah,
dude, that guy's having fun. That is insane. Wow. So you get exposed to all this stuff.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's cool to just take a back seat and kind of learn about this stuff.
Right. And Tyler, do you have, look like from the marathon picture, you have a little kiddo?
Yeah, so I have a kid that's turning 2 in like a week, a little over a week, and then the other one is 3.5.
Perfect. So they're going to get exposed to this stuff through you. So who knows what
Hopefully.
they're going to grab onto? That's amazing. That's freaking
I'm
amazing.
a little terrified, right?
At least this is on snow, so that's kind of cool. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. We can try to sell you on mountain biking, although I did a terrible job earlier about it. But you actually mountain bike yourself.
Yeah, so the way I got into it is, I mean, I went up to Michigan Tech and did it a few times up there. Was so busy with school and social life and everything that I didn't soak it up. I really wish I did, because mountain biking up there is great, and we actually have trails right on campus. But Michigan's great because you can drive. I mean, there was a summer where a group of us, we would just hit up a different trail system like every Tuesday, and within an hour I could find like 10 different trail systems. But I was actually working in Kentucky for a little while for Ford, working at the assembly plant there, and Kentucky is like a sleeper state, period. But I'm sure as a mountain biker, you've heard of some of the trails down there. And the location of my apartment was right near this place called Cherokee Park.
Okay.
And I could walk there, I could bike there. So I took my travel money and I went and bought a starter bike, just a $400 special. It still has the drum brakes and everything, and beat the absolute hell out of that thing at Cherokee Park. Went riding like once or twice a week, and that was like my entrance into the sport. Now, I mean, I try to go maybe once a month in the summer, but that often doesn't happen just because, you know, kids keep you busy. But mountain biking is probably one of my favorite sports, that and snowboarding, because of exactly what you said. You can't be distracted. You cannot be on your phone or you will get hurt, because you have to be so focused into it. And another thing that I think is really cool about it is anybody can do it, right? You can be a total pro and you can ride with somebody for the first time. You guys can both have a blast riding the same speed, because you can just go out on the trails and be creative with what you're doing and make it as hard as you want while your buddy is learning and kind of seeing if they even like it. So that's kind of like my story on mountain biking. I wish I had more time for it, but I love it. It's a blast.
Yeah. What was it for you, like, for the mountain biking? What was your like type 2 fun moment where you're like, dude, this is something I really like? Can you remember like a specific something about it?
Yeah, I mean, just going to Cherokee Park, you bust your ass getting to the top of the hill, even if it's on pavement. You know, you're driving 1-1, you're just grinding to get to the top. You almost have a heart attack getting up there. You know, that's a challenge in itself and really rewarding. And then you get to just go play in the trails, and I don't know, that's a whole nother level of adrenaline and fitness, right? You're working your body just as much, but now your mind's in the game, and you gotta really be smart about you handling stuff. And a certain section can totally destroy you one time, but after you do it a few times, you get really good at it. You get good at handling those routes uphill and downhill. You get more confident. You start taking the jump paths versus the little side steps. And I don't know. I like, as I said, I just like that you can approach it from so many different ways and always keep it challenging for yourself.
That's cool. Yes, that's well said. It's exactly that feeling. It's like this little seed gets planted, and that seed becomes progression, hunger, and you just want to progress, and you're just like hungry for it. Like, in fact, it's still hard. I don't know if you guys feel the same way, and folks in the chat audience, let us know too. It's hard to go out on mellow rides most of the time. Like, it's hard to just go out there and go, I'm just going to pedal around, just going to keep it tame, not going to do anything. I feel like there's always this little bit of hunger. Like, you turn into a shark for progression. You just need to push it a little bit every time. You guys feel that too?
We've started rides that way many times. Like, let's just take it mellow today. It's just going to be a mellow day. And then I feel like those always escalate the most.
Right. Yeah. I've fallen for that a couple times. Joey's like, we're going to take it mellow today. We're not going to do anything. And then he sends a Canyon Gap or something like that. I'm like, dude, I thought we were going mellow, but all right, let's get into it. And they end up being good because I think the expectation is like you're under control. We're going to ride within our abilities. We're not going to be crazy.
I think that's what it is yeah, you're going in with no fear. You're going in real small, and then you're slowly getting a little farther into the deep end, and then yeah, it just keeps progressing. Versus if you're just going to jump into the deep end, you're kind of nervous and scared, and yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Definitely so. We got a question for you. Trail Pimp is asking, what kind of bike do you ride?
Oh yeah, so I mentioned that bike that has the drum brakes. I'm still riding that. I've broken almost every part on that, and I've just been too cheap to go buy one. But it's just like a specialized hardtail. Yeah, I need to just total it or go out riding and throw it in the riverbank and tell my wife that it broke so that I can go get a new one. But there's a lot of things at the house that I could spend $1,000+ on.
Just leave the garage door open overnight.
Yeah. And just put a flashlight on the bike alone. Like clear everything else out. Put a spotlight on the bike, garage door open, done.
They took nothing but the bike.
Yeah, exactly.
The key was in the four-wheeler, but they took the bike.
Joe Pip is saying, have you tried an e-bike, Tyler?
I just sorry about my throat. I just hinted to this in the chat. Yeah, you just threw it on screen. Funny e-bike story. Not so funny. First time I rode an e-bike, I was camping around the US with my wife. We were supposed to go to Europe, but then COVID happened, and we're like, we took the time off. We took the time off. Let's travel. Let's throw our tent in the truck and drive around. And sorry, my whole family's sick, so we're trying to like get over this.
You want to get something to drink?
No, I'm all right.
And you one of these?
Oh yeah, hook me up. Some bonsai. So we found like a rustic campground. That's what we did the whole time. We traveled for a month and spent $20 on campgrounds because everywhere we camped was just BLM land, rustic. The next morning, we're like, let's do this hike real quick before we go to the next stop. And we park at the top of this mountain, start hiking, and a bunch of e-bikers are sitting there chilling. So we say hi, and they're a little frantic. And the guy's like, do you guys have any aspirin by chance? We think our buddy is having a heart attack down in the trail.
Oh,
and they're all on e-bikes, so I don't know if he was just like wickedly out of shape or anything, but you know, you're still working, you're still riding in the mountains. And sure enough, I had a first aid kit, hopped on the e-bike, like started pedaling, almost fell off because I wasn't expecting that acceleration. Try not to have too much fun because it's like a dire situation.
Right.
Ride right over to the truck, grab the aspirin, give it to the guy, and then he takes the aspirin, books it down the trail while they wait for the EMS to show up. Like, you need anything else? And he's like, no, go enjoy your hike. And we go hike and end up passing the guy that was like having the issues. He had already had the aspirin. He's like super thankful. It's like, you probably saved my life because apparently if you don't have that to like thin out your blood, I think, then the clock is much shorter. And then we hike down, hike back, and they actually left an e-bike on the trail. I was like, well, we know they're going up there. Like, they're going to have to come back and get this. Why don't we ride it up there? And so I did get to ride for 2 miles on the e-bike. And that was pretty cool. I felt like I was stealing their bike or something, but then we ended up finding them and dropping it off. And yeah, wild story. Didn't even know you could e-bike, mountain bike. That was maybe 7 years ago.
Wow.
No, like 5 years ago. But yeah, that's a crazy story.
That is a crazy story. And thank goodness you had the aspirin.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. Dude, yeah, that was your first time jumping on an e-bike. Isn't it wild that acceleration you get from it? All of a sudden you're Lance Armstrong.
Yeah, my father-in-law has one now, and so I've ridden with him just on, the dirt roads and stuff, and it's wild how quick you can go on that thing.
Yes. Yeah. We have a go ahead, Joey.
I was like, do you just call him a cheater the whole time?
does feel like cheating, but you're getting out there. Like you
Yeah.
could also just be sitting home watching TV.
No,
whatever it
yeah,
takes to get started. Who cares?
Yeah,
you get an amazing workout on them if you want to. Yeah.
totally. I was gonna say those guys. If he was having a heart attack, hopefully he was on like lap 8 or 9 because you can get so many laps on those things. I call them the chairlift that you can steer. By the way, it's an e-bike, because everybody loves park, right? Everyone loves to jump on the lift. It's the lift life. You ride the lift up, you get to ride your bike down, jump back on the lift, ride it up. I mean, e-bike.
No problem riding a chair to the top, but an e-bike. Oh boy, let's start a war.
I know. I think it's like a mindset change for a lot of people, but especially, the worst is when you pass somebody on an analog bike that's just suffering, and you're on lap 4 or 5.
Yeah. No, the worst is when you pass them twice.
Yes. Yeah, that's where I was getting at. Like, they're on the same climb and like you're back up second time. I've definitely gotten to the point where I've like turned off my motor and like pedaled by them. Like, have a great day, man. Good to see you. Bye. And then I wait until I'm just far enough to like out of earshot, turn the bike on and then go. Just because that has to feel awful to just get, lapped like that. Oof. At least I think I would feel that way. But e-bikes are fun. Joe Pimp is saying, I will never ride a pedal bike again except for a 200 millimeter downhill bike part. TB Shinkwe says, Mark does not turn off his motor. Shh. I have this new bike that's really quiet. It's called the Decoy SN. It stands for Supernatural. It's a lighter weight e-bike, Tyler. So like the full size e-bikes are like around 50 pounds. This bike is about 10 pounds less than that. And the motor in it is made by Fazua, which is owned by Porsche. So there's all kinds of cool technology in this thing. They've built it to where it feels like a natural bike. Like you are riding an e-bike, but you put in your watts and the bike matches your watts. So it kind of feels like you're just stronger. And the bike's light and playful, and it's so fun. But yeah, I don't have to turn off my motor now because the bike's pretty quiet already.
Yeah, and that bike's. I'm learning more about that bike because I'm obviously pretty close to buying one. But I learned that I thought it was like the Specialized where it was half the power, but it goes from 70 to 60, I believe. Is that right?
Yeah.
Versus the Specialized goes from 70 to 35. I'm sure Trail Pimp will correct me, but
Trail Pimp is gonna know. Trail Pimp is gonna know for sure.
But yeah, that bike's just barely below a normal one, and yeah, that thing's amazing.
Yeah, it's the Fazua Ride 60. So 60 newton meters of torque versus like half of that from what the other light e-bikes are. So this one has more power, but still in that light feel range. So it's really playful. Yeah. It's a ton of fun. I definitely type 2 fun for sure.
Definitely look at Mark's post from the last couple days and you'll see how much fun that bike is.
Oh man, I have been having a blast on that. Partly too, it's we have like X Games extraordinaire photographer on us that ride. So
that's not what was doing it. It was your riding.
Riding was good. I did want to mention MTB Sheen Queen said back here, I used to canoe that river every summer growing up. And she also said this, and I'm going to butcher this. What is this? Sable River is beautiful.
Yeah.
Sable. Damn. And I think I found it. Is that it? National Wild and Scenic River System. Yeah, there you go. Located in the northern lower peninsula of Michigan. Beautiful. Oh, you guys, I didn't even put it up there. I'm sorry. Is this it? I'm a pro. I
thought I was missing something.
Yeah, me too. It was below.
That is pretty. That is pretty. I did notice. Okay, so one of the cool things about Michigan, there's a lot of cool things about Michigan, but one of the cool things is when the trees change color. I was out there and that was happening, and I was like, "Whoa, this is amazing, amazing."
For you non
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gorgeous here. That we get all the seasons.
You do. It's amazing. It's beautiful. When it comes to something that you talked about earlier, community. And I know that in the mountain bike world, I feel like we have one of the best communities out there. Everyone's so inclusive, everyone's encouraging. Every now and again, you get the e-bike versus non-e-bike thing. But for the most part, if you see somebody on the side of the trail, everyone's really like, "Are you good? Are you okay?" It sometimes feels like people give you the shirt off their back just because you're also a mountain biker as well. Are you seeing that type of community in other action sports with the athletes that you've spoken to?
Yeah, there is definitely commonality in all of them, and I think what it is, you know, I don't know, I'm driving to work or something, I'm driving to the store, and I see someone with a flat tire. I could not possibly be bothered to stop and help them with their flat tire. I like to, you know, trick myself and say, "Oh, I'm a good person. I would have stopped if I didn't have to do this." But the reality is that we're always on our way to something, and whenever people are in these events or sports or whatever, they've blocked off this chunk of time to go do something, and it's just so they can enjoy that sport. And it doesn't matter how. Like, you know, I have 2 hours blocked off to go mountain biking with my buddies or by myself, whatever. You know, this guy is somebody who also enjoys the sport with me. Of course I'm going to stop and help him out. And I think that's something that we're trying to spread awareness with the podcast, is that you don't have to be afraid to get into this stuff. Like, I still thankfully haven't had to change a flat tire on my mountain bike, but I have all the gear. Like, it's sitting under my seat, and I know I could either figure it out. If I have service, I'll Google it or whatever. But more than likely what'll happen is somebody will just stop and like knock it out in 5 to 10 minutes with me. And that's a common theme with all this stuff is, and I think it's deeper than that. You know, you get around a group of people around a campfire of people that are all mountain biking, longboarding, jet skiing, whatever it is. And like immediately there's so many barriers that are broken down.
Yes. We're best friends.
Yeah, pretty much. And it even ascends into like abrasive topics. Like you could probably start talking about politics with that person, and it doesn't matter if you agree or not. You can like have a level-headed conversation because you have this like commonality of mountain biking that you can like kumbaya around. And you just do not have that in like your type 1 fun life, your day-to-day. You know, you're always so afraid walking on ice on what you say to people. And like you meet people that are in your niche, your mountain biking community. And like you said, you're kind of immediately best friends. And, you know, I bet those people would let you stay on their couch if you found out that moment that they needed to, or something like that. And I think that's beautiful. Right. And I'm sure you guys are seeing that too. I don't know. Clearly you have a fan base. You got a live stream going with a bunch of people on here. And it sounds like you know these people pretty intimately. So, I mean, does that resonate with you guys? Is anything I'm saying bizarre?
No, not bizarre at all. 100%. Yeah.
And I had somebody else on who the whole topic was, you know, get started bike packing. And it's the same story, you know, find a community or find a meetup of somebody who has, or find a Facebook forum of a group that you're interested in, show up. They'll kind of guide you through the rest. I think these people love these sports so much that someone will take you under their wing. Somebody will show you the ropes. Someone will remove all the fears that you have about getting started. And then you can really like find out if it's your sport and if you're hooked on it. So I always tell people like mountain biking is a great one. Find a local trail and go by yourself. You take your $100 Walmart bike, and you know, worst case, you get banged up or you hurt your bike, and someone will scoop you up and you'll be just fine.
Yeah, so true. Man, the first time I rode a trail on my mountain bike, I got a flat tire and I had tubes and I went through some goat heads, like somewhere between the car and the trail. I ran over some goat heads, got a flat tire not too far in there. I probably had 4 out of the 4 riders who passed, like as they come by. First person's like, dude, you need some help? I'm like, I guess so, sure. And then, oh, sorry, I don't have a tube for you. I thought you were like tubeless. Another person. Very next rider. Dude, you okay? Do you need help? 4 times, 4 out of 4. I was like, wow, this community is pretty cool. This is awesome. Like there was a commonality there. There wasn't like you were saying, the filters of like safety. Is this person dangerous? Like picking up a hitchhiker on the side of the road. Like none of that type of stuff existed. It was more like, I'm a mountain biker. You're a mountain biker. You're not riding your bike. It looks like you're in trouble. Do you need help? It's so cool.
He's
yeah,
exactly
and then you stop
right.
at the trailhead and you get to just like riff with everybody. Oh, how was that section? How's your ride going?
Yes. How's it going? How the trails running today? Oh, it's good. It's good. You're like, sweet.
Oh, yeah.
I can't wait to get some. Have a good ride. Love it.
Yeah.
He's exactly right too, as far as the community taking. There's someone that will show you. Like I started off as an XC rider. My goal was to ride my bike as far as I could and climb as high as I could. And then it was, I want to climb every mountain around here. And I was by myself. And I found a few people that enjoyed that torture also. But I would always see the people out on the jump trails. And I was like, oh, those guys are crazy, But slowly I met some of them and they showed me. And then next thing you know, I'm doing all the crazy stuff with them. And it was nothing I could have just done on my own. I needed a crew to take me to that next level, which was awesome.
Yeah, that community. There's like, it's cool. It's very cool. Like when you're out there and then you're overcoming things, your confidence gets boosted. But there's another thing when there's a community behind you, backing you up and believing in you. It feels good, you know. And then they're like coaching you through it. Like, hey, I saw you do this. I'm pretty sure you could do this. Like, you want to follow me through it? Here's the speed. Here's what you got to do. It's not that bad. And then when you do it, they're as stoked as you are. You're like, really?
Yeah.
That's for me? That's pretty awesome. That's really awesome. MTB Sheen Queen is hammering that through with, I have met several amazing friends that I met randomly out on trails from all over. People that have become super close friends all because of biking. Yep. So true.
Yep.
Oh, pimp, it's because you're a cool person, Kim. That's very true too. It takes one to know one. That's true too. Joey Yates cross country, like it. Yes, when I met Joey, like for the people who are wondering, like, how did Mark ever meet Joey? I met Joey, and Joey was you were just starting to get into jumping.
When we first rode, I had just started jumping like weeks or months before that. Yeah. Because I remember you taking me on the trails and I was like, I'm not doing that. Like, yeah.
Yeah. And I was a new rider and I was looking at Joey like, how do you do that? And like we kind of like fed off each other and we kind of progressed together and we've met this crazy community through it too.
Right.
And the other cool thing about mountain biking, Tyler, and this probably happens in all the sports, is like when your gear is on and you're out there going and just having fun, like you don't know who these other people are, which is a good thing. Like I'm not intimidated to ride with them, but I get intimidated later if I find out they're so and so. Like we've been out there with people and like later on you find out they're like, that was an X Games gold medalist you were just riding with and you ended up with.
That's happened
like,
many times. Yeah.
Right. And you're just like, holy crap. And then they text you later, like, yo, you want to go for a ride? You're like, oh, now I'm intimidated. But earlier we were just like little kids riding bikes, having fun. Yeah.
I also love like the downstream effects of that too. You get used to approaching these people on trail because it's so easy that, you don't care if you need to go approach someone at the grocery store because you need help with someone or something. I don't know. At least that's how it has been for me. And right. Most of the time, people will say no because they can't be bothered. They're trying to get to their kid's soccer game or something. But just not having that anxiety to approach people because you're so used to the friendliness within your niche that it just like it affects you everywhere else. And there's so many downstream effects of positive effects, I think, when it comes to type 2 fun and pushing yourself.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, there are so many things about this type 2 fun that we can take outside of this world and apply it. Like you said, you could apply these things into like progression. We were just talking about progression. Everybody wants to be financially secure, right? And so you kind of take the lesson of like, I want to learn how to jump. I want to become wealthy. And you learn a little bit, you take a little bit of a risk, you get a little bit of a reward, you ask other people, you see somebody sending jumps like crazy, you ask them, just like you see somebody really successful, you ask them, you start piecing it together and slowly you build it. And it's the same stuff. It's the same stuff. You're not quitting, you're just making mistakes and you're learning and you're moving forward and you're making another mistake and you're learning and you're moving forward. And you could take those skills from the trail straight to the bank account, I tell you. Empty Machine Queen saying, I'm an introvert until it comes to biking. True. So true, which I love. Biking turns me into the biggest social butterfly. Also true. It's awesome. It's awesome.
I like how you said that you make your mistakes on the trails and it's totally acceptable. You eat it, you get up, you try it again, you get the confidence up to do it again. I feel like in the world right now, like you're punished so hard for just making mistakes. Like, I don't know, you do something wrong at work, you feel like you want to hide it, or instead of just like owning up to it and learning from it. But you go out there mountain biking or doing any type 2 sport where you have this chance of hurting yourself or like, dying, right?
Mhm.
And everything doesn't become so serious in the real world. Like you realize that you can learn from your mistakes and grow from them.
Yeah.
If your boss is being a jerk, like who cares? Go blow some steam off out on the trail and move on. You don't need to like have this blow up reaction or have the anxiety that kind of shuts you down for a week. So I think that's another big part of the type 2 fun thing is just learning not to take life so seriously, learning to put yourself in these almost dangerous situations, but being prepared to get through them.
Yes. Yeah, totally. 100%. And I think the other cool thing is like in our action sports worlds, you have access to people that you see on the trail that are just tearing it up. And in that world, it's totally okay to go up to them and be like, how do you do this feature? What's
Yeah.
the right line? What's the right speed? Do you have to pull a lot? Do you don't pull at all? Like, what do you do? And they're always going to tell you. They're always going to be happy to tow you in. But for some reason, if you see somebody like really successful in the world, you're like, oh, I can't ask them how they got there. Like, I just can't do it. And they're probably going to be just like that. Like, I'd love to tell somebody this was hard work. I would love to show them how I did it so they don't have to make as many mistakes as I did. But we don't, like a majority, I shouldn't say we don't. A majority of us are like, I don't want to bother them. It's okay. I'll just look from afar and be like, sweet. Good job.
Yeah. I'm definitely guilty of it too. I mean, just because I'm talking to people just because I'm living vicariously through all these people doing these hard things doesn't mean I'm immune to it. But yeah, you don't want to bother anyone in the real world. But as people are saying, you become a extrovert and super chatty when you're doing what you love with people who love doing what you're doing.
Yes, right. And what's the worst case scenario that you learn in those moments? Like if somebody hasn't happened yet, but if somebody's like, nah, man, I'm not going to teach you how to do that. Nothing happened. It was just, you don't have the answers yet, but you will find the person. It's just no, and no's fine. No's happen all the time. It's like, okay, well, I'll find the yes. I just have to ask not this person, the next person. Yeah, it's way better than crashing on the mountain bike. I'll take a no any day over a crash. That's for sure. Tyler, I can't believe we are over an hour on the podcast. I know it's late your time. But before we go, I love this conversation with you. This is like really cool to get talk to you. That I know you talk to a lot of different types of people, and it's cool to hear the commonalities, you know, when it comes to community and like what motivates them. So, like in closing, what would you say if you were writing an episode today and you're actually writing the last bit of the chapter and you were to tell the folks, like, as I leave this earth, the secret to motivation, from what I understand, is this? What would you tell people?
Yeah, how do I want to summarize this? I pretty much only did this to get over 100 subscribers. No, I'm kidding. I actually am super
He's out.
You're a 102, baby.
See you guys. Everyone's gonna unsubscribe now. No, I mean, the like I said, the biggest commonality with all this is if you find something you're interested in, you know, find somebody else that's also interested in it and give it a shot. You know, none of this stuff has to be scary. Talking from mountain biking, I mean, you can get started on any bike. I mean, you could go and road bike, do some gravel racing or something, and just kind of scratch your itch. I mean, you could hop on a stationary bike for all I care, but you get people that like to pedal and like to see this cool stuff, and you pretty much have the gear to do it and get started for free. And like from there, you'll know if it's worth proceeding or not, and then you'll be buying these $5,000 e-bikes, you know, a year later that you probably don't need. And yeah, it's addictive, but people are so afraid to get out there and try new things, try hard things, just because they think the barrier to entry is so high when it really isn't. So yeah, and like again, there's just so much that comes with that. You can start to build out a community and make these true friends of yours that are actually like good friends, right? You don't actually want to be friends with the fair weather friend. You want to have friends that you can pick up the phone and say, yo, my car broke down. I can't get anybody to lend me a gallon of gas. I know you live 20 minutes away, but like, can you drive and come hook me up? And, you know, you get people that you make friends that do hard stuff, push themselves. They get it. They're going to be there for you. They're going to show up and they'll help you level up in mountain biking. They'll help you level up in life. So that's kind of like closing thoughts amongst everything I've learned, and you know, something that's repeated on a lot of the episodes that I've had.
I love that. I love that. People pushing themselves to do something hard. It definitely takes a certain mindset for those folks to do that, to stay in there, to continue to push. And I feel like you said, sometimes the barrier is just fear. We can get way more people involved if they just go for it, just try it. Why not, right? And then they get a little bit of the confidence boost because they overcame something, they did something different, and they do it again. And then that seed gets planted, and then it starts to grow, that progression, then that progresses into their life. So damn, dude, that's really cool that you've got a chance to see that in 58 episodes and more. So if you guys want to tune into more of Tyler Cahoon's shows, go on to YouTube, give a subscribe to Type 2 Fun Podcast, and get more of these stories that Tyler is bringing to us, which is super epic. Tyler, let them know where they can find you on social media and YouTube before we go.
Yeah, the YouTube channel is Type 2 Fun Podcast. Type 2 Fun was taken, darn it. But if you know, donating an hour of your time, your time's precious. I know I don't expect everyone to go in and listen to any or all of the episodes, but we have an Instagram page, and I think it's really cool. Like, you go in there and you just see these like cool things, like the jet skiing or the snow skating. I think the channel is really fun because you can just like kind of flip through these extreme sports. Yeah, and I'll say, like, if anybody has any stories that they want to tell or adventures that they think are worth talking about, like, come on. I mean, I have big people, small people, and every time I leave the episode just grinning from ear to ear, because it's not often you get to sit back and listen to somebody's story long form for an hour. So yeah, I love that you had me on. I'm really happy you reached out to me. This was really fun, and I love the live stream setup you got going.
Nice. Thank you, Tyler. Appreciate you coming on board, and congrats on everything that you're doing, and look forward to seeing where you're podcast goes. It's going to be great. Just like everything else, we're doing it. Got to keep on growing, keep on going.
Make mistakes in your recordings and get it better next time.
Exactly. Like earlier when I was like, is this the river? You guys are like, what are you talking about? There's nothing on screen. All right, you guys. Thank you all so much for joining us. This is Tyler Cahoon. This is episode 169, Type 2 Fun Podcast. Go check it out. And we'll see you guys all out on the trails. See you on the next one. Laters. Bye.
See ya.